Thank you for joining our program today. Well, we know the CFA is a very important investment bankers examination, but with all this financial crisis hitting the Wall Street investment bank, do you find that actually less people are subscribed to this program?
We actually find that there are more people that are attracted to the CFA program. And I think there are several reasons for that. One is that in economic downturns, people want to become more credentialed. But this year, we're up approximately 8% over last year. Demand for the CFA charter in Hong Kong has been relatively flat. We have about 7,500 candidates, and I had about that many last year. The demand in mainland China is incredibly robust. We're up about 25% in mainland China. So the demand is strong globally, but it's particularly strong in this part of the world.
So do you find that actually there are increasing number of people from Hong Kong and China to subscribe in this program?
Absolutely, and we're finding that there are more, as those candidates become successful, there are more and more CFA charter holders in Hong Kong and mainland China. We have about 4,200 CFA charter holders in Hong Kong. We have about 1,500 CFA charter holders in mainland China. And in fact, the concentration of CFA charter holders in Hong Kong is ranked 4th in the world, and the concentration of CFA charter holders in mainland China is 7th in the world. Now, the mainland China number, I think, is remarkable because we had virtually no charter holders in mainland China 10 years ago. So that is incredible growth, and this is a particularly important part of the world for the CFA program.
So overall, do you think that the financial crisis has passed, or do you think we have some worse time to come?
I'm not in the business of predicting how quickly we'll come out of the financial crisis, but I think it was really caused by 3 things. I think it was caused by financial innovation that, to a large extent, people didn't understand. Much of that financial innovation had to do with leverage, and there were such high levels of leverage that when things went south, it was exacerbated. And thirdly, it's the interdependence of the markets across the world. When something happens in one economy, it affects economies throughout the world. So, you know, I think that we are going to have learned a lot, hopefully, coming out of this. And one of the things I think that we are learning is that people need to be more educated on the products they're investing in, and advisors need to be more credentialed. And I think that we're in CFA program is in a pretty good space for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the financial crisis lead the people to think we may need to have a market reform. I think one major argument is whether we should change this fair value accounting because they believe that this mark-to-market approach actually escalating the crisis. Do you agree with that statement?
I think that fair value accounting is the way to go. The historical cost accounting really doesn't provide investors with the requisite detail, the requisite value on what the assets and liabilities of a particular firm are actually worth. Moving to fair value accounting may be painful in the short run, but in the long run, it will provide more transparency and more fairness in the financial markets.
Well, more about this transparency. In Hong Kong, we are arguing whether we should move towards the quarterly reporting. Do you think that actually Hong Kong should also follow the U.S. example to introduce the quarterly reporting in Hong Kong?
I do. I think that provides investors with more information, it's more transparency, and it will provide investors with the requisite information that they need to know to make financial decisions. And I think that the Hong Kong should follow best practice, global best practice in that instance.
Thank you very much for joining our program today.
Thank you for having me.